it's me, India. Welcome back to our series, Don't Worry About It. It's so cool how we have learned that God doesn't want us to be worried and anxious. He has provided so much for us to have a healthy and peaceful mind. But that doesn't mean stress won't happen. There are so many things that can cause stress in your life. Family fights can cause big stress. When a friend decides they don't want to be your friend and they turn their back on you, it can be really stressful. Not to mention all the homework, deadlines, and assignments from school. That can be a huge cause of stress. So where do you go when you're stressed? Where do you go to find peace? Some people turn to hobbies like video games to relieve stress. That's not bad, but that's not where God told us to go. Some people think if they just go to their friends and tell them all about their stress, then that will help them feel better. That's not bad, but that's not where God told us to go. There was one place God instructed us to go when we're stressed. That place is in the presence of Jesus. It's true, stress will happen, but Jesus is stronger than stress. If you spend time in His presence, He will give you peace. Today in your lesson, you're going to learn from the story of Mary and Martha, how you can come to God's presence when you feel stressed out. Until next time, I'm India reminding you, don't worry about it. See ya!
What you gotta know, what you gotta know. Time for Boudreaux, what you gotta know. What you gotta know, what you gotta know. Time for Boudreaux, what you gotta know.
Hey everybody, my name is Boudreaux. That's pronounced Boudreaux. And I'm here to tell you what you gotta know. Today, we're learning about how Jesus can calm us when we're stressed. So every time today you hear somebody ask you what you gotta know, you tell them, I will come to God's presence when I feel stressed out. Life is full of stress. I mean, I got a whole lot of stuff to be stressed about. What if my pet gator eats his dentist? What if a meteor comes down and splashes in the swamp and gets mud all over my freshly washed truck? What if my possum pot pie turns out too garlicky? I hate garlic! Oh no! Okay. These are probably not things that stress you out, but they sure stress me out. I'm sure you got some stuff that stresses you out too. Your grades, sickness, you got some family problems, you name it. The good news is, when you're all stressed out, you can go to Jesus and He gonna help you. So every time today you hear somebody ask you what you gotta know, you tell them, I will come to God's presence when I feel stressed out. And that right there is what you gotta know. Well, I'm Boudreaux over the bayou saying, bye-bye you.
Well, it is time for us to learn today's Bible story, and this one is really interesting. I think you're gonna wanna hear it. Are you ready? Oh, come on, are you ready to hear a cool story? Okay, here we go. Today's Bible story is all about what we've been learning, which is stress. We've been learning about stress, right? This story is all about how Jesus can help us with stress. We start off in the book of Luke, chapter 10, with two sisters named Mary and Martha. Can you say that with me? Mary and Martha. Good job. Mary and Martha were actually very good friends with Jesus. Wouldn't that be cool to be friends with Jesus if He just came to your house? That would be really cool. That's exactly what happened in this story. Jesus came to Mary and Martha's house along with their brother Lazarus. Can you say Lazarus? Pretty funny name, huh? Well, Jesus arrived at their house and the women were so excited to welcome Jesus into their home. As you can imagine, there were a lot of things to get ready for Jesus to come over. You know when you have family coming over and your mom makes you clean the whole house to get ready? It was just like that. Mary and Martha were cleaning the whole house, getting everything ready for Jesus. Martha was the one doing all of this work. She was getting stressed out because she was cooking and cleaning and getting stuff ready, working really, really hard. She was probably moving so fast that, you couldn't even see her arms moving because she was going so fast. And so she started to get really stressed out. After a while, Martha started to notice that Mary was nowhere to be found. She was not helping, she wasn't cooking or cleaning or doing anything that she was supposed to be doing. And do you think Martha was happy about that? No way. She was actually pretty mad. She walked into the living room, and guess who she saw? Mary. She saw Mary just in there sitting with Jesus. She thought to herself, oh, how dare she? How could she do this to me? I am in here working so hard, getting stuff ready, and she's just in there hanging out with Jesus, just spending time with him. That is so uncool. She was not happy about it. Martha ran into the living room, and she said to Jesus, she said, Lord, isn't it so unfair that Mary is in here with you while I am taking care of everything else? What do you think Jesus said to her? Do you think he was like, you're right, girl, that is so wrong of her. I cannot believe she did that. Do you think he said that? No, he did not say that. In fact, Jesus said something very interesting back to her. He basically told her, Martha, you have got to understand something. See, Mary is exactly where she's supposed to be, and really where you should be too, with me. Instead of stressing over all these details, you should be right here with me as well. Jesus was explaining to Martha something important that we need to learn as well. It's the same truth that is found in our power verse today that we just learned, Matthew 11:28. Jesus says, come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens. Don't you think that describes Martha in this moment? Do you think she was weary and carrying some heavy burdens? Yeah, she totally was. She was so stressed out. She was probably getting really tired from all that cleaning and sweeping and cooking. She had some heavy burdens weighing on her. But that's not the whole verse. Do you want to hear the rest of it? Jesus said, come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Doesn't that sound nice? You know, when you're feeling like Martha was, you're feeling stressed, like you've got heavy burdens, which means you just feel like everything is kind of hard, too much for you to handle. Jesus says that if we come to him in those moments, he will give us rest.
Oh, hey there, boys and girls. It's your old buddy, Kent. Kent, hear ya. I'm 86 years old, so I'm just a little bit hard of hearing. The reason I'm here today is to teach you today's power verse. Today's power verse says, then Jesus said, come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. Well, that was a wonderful power verse, wasn't it? I tell you what I need you to do. I need you to help me say it. So I want you to stand up. There you go, stand up, and you're going to say it with me loud. Remember, I'm hard of hearing. Say it with me loud so we can get my loudometer all the way up to 10. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Then Jesus said, come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. Oh, that was pretty good. It was pretty good, but I still can't hear you. Get it? I want you to do it again, and this time we're going to get the loudometer all the way to 10. Say it loud. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Then Jesus said, come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. Great job on the power verse. You may have a seat. Well, I've got to go find my earwax removal kit. It's going to be a long day ahead of me. Well, until next time, I can't hear you, but I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
We are talking about a very big word today. What's that word we're talking about today? Stress. Everybody say stress. I mean, okay, and you think, sometimes people think, well, this is something that only my parents face. that only older people face. Is that true? No, we face it too. We all feel stress. The worry, the anxiety, the stress with everything we got going on in our lives when you got school and going home and sports and dance and taking tests and your homework, playing video games and hanging out with friends and going to church and everything. It feels like a lot, doesn't it? Well, here's what we know. Life is full of stress. Everybody say, life is full of stress. Life is full of stress. We got a lot of stuff going on. Like I just kind of said, listed out some things. Remember, John 16:33, it says, here on earth you will have many trials and sorrows. We talked about that last week. That bad stuff is going to happen. This means, guess what? There are going to be things that stress you out. There is going to be stress in your life. Now, I've been saying stress a lot, right? How many of you are confused? How many of you say, Pastor Tyler, I don't know what stress means? Anybody who doesn't know what stress means? Raise your hand. It's not a big deal, because guess what? I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you just what stress is. Anybody know what this is? No, that's not an apple. It's a tomato, okay? Calling that an apple. Doesn't look anything like an apple. It does. I know, I'm just messing with you. So stress is when you have things going on in your life, and there's a word that they kind of use to describe it. It's called pressure. Everybody say pressure. You have a lot of stuff going on in your life, and it feels like all that pressure is just pushing down on you and making everything in life really hard and squirting all the guts of the tomato out all over the place. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's this is what we call salsa. It does look like salsa, and I just drifted on the phone. That's yucky. Stress is when you have just like so much pressure and you feel like the entire world is just coming and pushing down on top of you, and you're carrying everything all by yourself, all alone, all that pressure, all that weight, and you feel like you're just getting squashed like a tomato. Does God want us to live our lives that way? No. He doesn't want us to. In fact, here's the really good news. Jesus is stronger than stress. It's true. Jesus has already conquered all the trouble, all the stress in your life. Remember, I said that verse we learned last week, John 16:33. I said that in this life you'll have many trials and sorrows, but does anybody remember what the second part of the verse says? Anybody from last week? It says, in this world you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart, because you can have peace in me, because I have overcome the world. He has already conquered the world. He says, I've told you these things so that you can have peace in me. Here on earth, guess what? There's going to be stress. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. A lot of things are going to happen, things you don't expect. But we can take heart, because Jesus has overcome the world. And Jesus is stronger than the stress in our life. You see, if we try to take all this stress, the quizzes, the sports, the family, the friends, the going to church, the dance, everything in our life, and do it all by ourselves, all you're doing is hurting yourself. You're not going to make it any better. In fact, it's kind of like, ooh, that's really full. It's kind of like this glass of water. Now, how much do y'all think this weighs? Pound? I don't even know. I mean, it's kind of heavy. Now, if I hold it out like this, I can hold it there, right? Does it look like I'm struggling? No, it's pretty easy. It's not very hard. I mean, I feel like I could do this for a while. Now, if I was doing this, and let's kind of say like this is illustrating the stresses in our life. Now, let's say, what if I held my arm like this and held this glass of water for an hour? I'd get kind of sore. I feel like I could still do it, but I'd get sore. What about 3 hours? My arm would kind of be like this probably and falling down. What if I tried to do it all day long? Somebody call 911 because my arm would be falling off of my body. Do you see what I mean? If I'm supposed to hold this glass of water, what do I need to do to make sure my arm doesn't hurt? Put it down. Take a break. Rest. Let Jesus be stronger than the stress in your life. You don't have to hold it all by yourself. You don't have to do it all alone. We know you're strong. We know you're tough. But Jesus is stronger. And Jesus is stronger than your stress. That's the second thing we're learning about today. He is stronger than your stress. Now, we've been saying it all day long. But this is the most important thing, because we're going to feel stress. There's going to be times where you feel overwhelmed, where you feel like this tomato and you're getting squished. But when you feel stressed, when you're feeling stressed, we've said it, come to Jesus. When you're feeling stressed, come to Jesus. The power verse we learned today says it best. Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Jesus wants to help you with your stress. You don't have to do it on your own. So when you feel overwhelmed, when you've been at school all week long, and you are really worried and concerned about that stress, go to Jesus. Pray to him. When things are going crazy at home, pray. Go to Jesus. He wants to, and he can take care of your stress. I want you to bow your heads and close your eyes. And if today you say, Pastor Tyler, I'm stressed. There's been a lot of stuff going on, and I feel super stressed. I feel like that tomato. Like all the pressure is just pushing down on top of me, and there's no way for me to go anywhere else, and I'm just going to splat all over the place. But Jesus is stronger than your stress. And Jesus, just like with that water, wants you to take a break and spend time in his presence and know that he is here to give you rest. So if you say you're stressed, I just want you to raise your hand. Wherever you're at, if you're in the room or watching online, I just want you to raise your hand. And I want to pray for you today. Lord, you see the boys and girls that raised their hand that said, you're stressed. God, we know that you are stronger. You are bigger than our stress. So, Lord, I pray that you would help these boys and girls. Relieve the pressure off of them. Give them rest, Lord. Give them energy. Give them strength. Remind them that they can make it, that they can keep going on, because you've overcome the world. And though we're going to have things in our life that bring us stress, you can give us rest. So in those moments when they feel stressed out, when things don't seem to be going right for them, I pray that you would help put the thoughts in their head that I got to get to Jesus. I got to get to him so I can have the rest that I need, because he's stronger than my stress. Lord, bring us peace in our lives and be with us. It's in your mighty name we pray. Amen. Amen. If you feel stressed, go to Jesus. Don't even hesitate. Go straight to him, because he is stronger than your stress.